Okay, so for today's video, gonna be something I got a little bit triggered on, a little bit, upset. I was doing just reading up on the news for the past week, and I don't have Twitter, but I came across an article that was talking about something that was trending on Twitter, and it happened to be, my opinion, one of the dumbest things I've come across, and it's this trend or people just talking about how. What do you think 550 divided by 2 is? This equation goes viral as social media users are left baffled by the real answer. The fact that this is an article is very worrisome. It goes on to say social media users around the world are shocked that half of 550 is 275. This is basic math, folks. I don't understand how you could be surprised by this. Tweets and Reddit threads express shock that the real answer isn't 225. Now, first of all, if I'm just looking at these headline and those first two bullet points, if I have an ounce of a brain cell, I would know that half of 500 is at least 250. Now it's asking for half of 550, and you're going to think that it's less than 250. Now I think this is in the UK because it goes on to say it comes as UK PM Rishi Sunak plans on making maths compulsory to the age of 18, which is very dumb in my opinion. I have done a video kind of similar on this. I'll put it in the card up here about how the school systems in the US, some of them I think mainly in California, have been like trying to reduce students from getting like C's or D's and F. They can only get C's and above, so they can't technically ever fail, and if they do fail they just get a redo, which this is baffling to me. It goes on to say that social media users have been left bewildered, which again, I don't understand how you're bewildered by this, after discovering that 550 divided by 2 is 275. Then there was a whole bunch of memes of this, I guess. What happened to him? He found out that 550 divided by 2 is not 225. And then just tweet after tweet after tweet of people. I was today years old when I found out 550 divided by 2 is not 225. How old were you when you first discovered? Like, again, this is basic math. Okay? Basic division. And it goes on and on, like, just, I guess, yeah, post after post. This is just a small clip. And I mean, we've seen this type of thing before. I've done a video on this as well about this guy going around and asking like the public what they think, or like Gen Z, about basic questions. Some of these, I don't know if they're fake, if they're played up, but I mean, just listen to some of these things. Like,
how many dimes there are in the dollar? Make up $1.
A dime is the 10 cent or the 5 cent?
okay, so right off there, these guys are, looks like it's downtown New York. They're waving pride flags, they're doing all this, representing whatever. He's asking her a simple question on how many dimes make up a dollar, and she has to ask if the dime is a 5 cent or a 10 cent.
You tell me.
I don't know.
I don't know. Then we get into these math questions, which again, very, very basic, rudimentary math.
What 3 times 3 times 3 is?
3 times 3 times 3. 3.
No, you know this.
Yeah, I know this. Stop. Hold on. Nah, because that's supposed to be a trick. That's supposed to be a trick thing.
It's not a trick. Not a trick. Very basic math.
But like, I gotta do it in my head. Sorry. 9 and then 9 times 3. Damn. Damn. Oh.
So I don't know if you guys caught what she just did there with her finger. I'm gonna go back just a little bit so you could see it.
Damn. Damn. Oh, 36.
And she still gets it wrong. So there's a trick in multiplication. I don't know if some of you have learned it, if you haven't. But anything from 9 times 1 to 9, if you take your fingers and you put down the finger that you're multiplying 9 by, it gives you the answer. So she's doing 9 times 3. So if you took your third finger and you put it down, you got 2 up here and 7 over here. That's 27. That is the correct answer. She did this and gave herself 36 somehow. So even with the cheat for the 9, she still got it wrong. But again, this goes on. Like, everybody seems to say 36.
What's 3 times 3 times 3?
It's 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 36.
Like, it's not 9 times 2 times 2. You know, once you get the 9, you just multiply it by 3, 27. Again, very basic things.
Yes. What's 3 times 3 times 3?
3 times 3 times 3? 9 times 3. But I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, I'm retarded.
Yeah, take a guess, a number.
Like 36?
Again, 36 again. I don't know how these guys are getting this simple question wrong.
What's 3 times 3 times 3?
12.
Anyways, so I saw this, and like I said, I saw this little article here, and I was just kind of baffled by it. But then I remembered that I had seen this clip. I guess it was going around on Fox News or something like that, or Fox News covered this woman who I believe is a teacher, and she stated that math was racist. And I was perplexed by this. So I found the clip, and hopefully you can hear it.
Quickly, so I misunderstand. Are we saying that 2 plus 2, if you say it's 4, that's racist? I mean, that sounds like we may be mischaracterizing it. What, if you can quickly sum it up?
No, that's not mischaracterizing it at all. Math is basically racist under this ideology because it says there is no such thing as an objective reality. So 4 might not be the right number. 2 plus 2 might actually equal 5.
Okay, math is objective. There is no like, math is plain and simple. 2 plus 2 is 4. Cannot ever equal 5. And I don't understand how then this equals math. So after I remembered this clip, I kept going down this little rabbit hole of math, and I found out that there's a math conference or meeting that happens in Boston, and it happened actually from the 4th till today. And it's the JMM, which is the Joint Mathematics Meeting. It's one of the largest annual meetings of mathematics in the world. And this gentleman here, some professor, I believe his name is here, Lewis, he's got a PhD. The topic he decided to talk about at this mathematics meeting is undergraduate mathematics education as a white, cis hetero patriarchal space and opportunities for disruption to advance queer of color justice. Now, I've never seen the word cis hetero patriarchal in my life. I didn't even think that those 3 words could be thrown together. But going into a little bit more on this gentleman's background, he's a professor at the Vanderbelt University here, and apparently he deals with mathematics and sexuality intersecting, which I don't understand how math and sex ever have an intersection. And so this is his little profile at the Vanderbilt, and another program that he's done is PRISM, which is Power, Resistance, and Identity in STEM Education. But then he gets into this one, Courage. So outside of the first one that we just read here, this cis heteropatriarchal space, he's also developed this one, which is his second project titled Courage, Challenging, Operationalizing, and Understanding Racialized and Gendered Events in Undergraduate Mathematics, examines features of instructions in undergraduate calculus classrooms that students from historically marginalized groups experience as discouraging or supportive as mathematics learners. This project, supported by the National Science Foundation Improving Undergrad STEM Educational Program, addresses the pervasive role of calculus as the gatekeeper that reinforces racialized and gendered access to STEM. We don't even need to talk about calculus, because as you saw in all of these tweets and these clips, people don't understand basic math: add, addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. That's already out the door. Now you're talking about STEM. Calculus is not, it's there's no gatekeepers in calculus. Again, math is very objective. Either you know it or you don't. If you don't know it, then you fail. Then you can't proceed. There's no reason that a STEM program would accept you if you can't prove that you can do basic math or math in general. Now, this led then into another article that just came out, and it's by the GSLEN, which is the Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network. I believe that's what it stands for. And it says, this article is titled, How Do We Make Math Class More Inclusive to Trans and Non-Binary Identities? Before you even read the article, again, math has nothing to do with sex, or should have no intersectionality with sex, should not be trans or non-binary inclusive, especially towards identities of people. But in the article, it says, mathematic educators play an important part in reversing this trend by creating inclusive environments for LGBTQ students and trans and non-binary students in particularly. Unfortunately, the GSLEN research shows mathematics teachers are the least likely to teach an LGBTQ inclusive curriculum, but there are many ways for math teachers to include LGBTQ content in class. The math teacher should be teaching math, and that is it. I don't understand what a math teacher needs to be doing with LGBTQ inclusive curriculum, what that even means. The article then goes in to say, mathematics educators need to be diligent about creating classrooms that are safe and welcoming learning environments for all of their students. The relationships between teachers and students, no matter what the content, requires the acknowledgement of LGBTQ students and an affirmation of those students' lives. No, it does not. Math is math. Plain and simple. It has nothing to do with your own personal life or affirming how you feel. Mathematics teachers need to be respectful of students' names and pronouns. Sure, if they're addressing those students for the question, I guess. But then it goes on to say they need to be sure their classrooms do not alienate any students, and they need to support LGBTQ activities such as the Day of Silence, Trans Awareness Week, the Ally Week. What that has to do with math, I don't get. Mathematics educators must do a better job of including our trans and non-binary students, as the future of those students are in their hands. if you're talking about including them into math problems, like a word problem where it says like Sally got on the train, Billy got on the opposite train, they were going 100 miles per hour, when will they cross? Whether Sally's a lesbian or Billy is a trans woman has no relevance to the question. The question is just based on the data, the numbers you're presented with, and the answer that you get. Having Sally be a lesbian and Billy be gay or trans doesn't somehow change the answer. And somebody reading the question shouldn't be like, I can't answer this because it's about a gay, a straight person, not a gay person. Like, this whole article makes no sense on how do we make math class more inclusive for trans and non-binary identities. And like, this is polluting the education system. You can clearly see a lot of people don't even know basic math. Again, I don't know if these are all jokes or memes or people taking a piss kind of thing, but the fact that we have videos after video of these people, you know, rallying and supporting this, then we have people, actual teachers on programs saying that math is racist. Actual math professors somehow intersecting sex and math together, and then pushing for trans and non-binary identities to be seen in math. Like, all of this makes no sense to me. And I really, really worry for my daughter for when she gets into these grades. Hopefully, majority of this garbage is out of here by then. Again, I have no problem with you being LGBTQ. But again, like this, like all of this, that they need to support the activities and affirmation of the students' lives, like, you're there to learn math. Not knowing this makes you look like these fools, or this teacher, or even this guy. Like, I don't know. I just don't know. Or again, you end up looking like one of these fools on Twitter, which I think majority of the people on Twitter must be fools. But for this many people to say, here's a reality check for today, and like, this is not this. Even if you multiply basic math, 225 times 2 is 450. It's not 550. So how you could even get there blows my mind. Anyways, that's enough ranting for today. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, this is a scary world we're living in, scary times. Hopefully the education system fix itself, or we get these people out and some proper teachers or whoever in. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next video.